Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. It is, once again, finally,
Shop Talk Friday.
Friday with D. Frank.
We haven't done one
Connor.
of these in a while. We've been here, but it's been hard to film videos. So
yeah, either busy doing stuff or busy sitting around talking bullshit.
Which is not film worthy.
Yeah. Anyway, so on the operating table, we've got the heads off of a 1996
Five
F250 with a 351 Windsor. And so D. Frank decided that he didn't want a little ticking from an exhaust manifold gasket leak. So fast forward a couple minutes and six broken
total six
studs.
Yeah,
6 broken exhaust studs later,
but only 3
the heads are on the bench.
Yeah, so
a couple of them were long. We're able to get them out with vice grips and stuff. But here's the real beautiful ones. There's those two, and this one. See some welding marks here. I was trying to weld a nut onto this. You can't weld onto these studs because they're hardened, and it just doesn't weld well. On top of that, I'm using a stick welder, and I just can't light an arc in there well, and you got all the slag and shit everywhere. So that is a viable thing to do in certain cases, especially if you have a TIG or maybe a MIG. That'll work a lot better. But with a stick, unless you have a real giant thing where you can really stuff the stick in there and get a good weld in, it just doesn't work. And also with the hardened stud, you know, good luck with the weld sticking. So we got plan C and plan D at hand. So that's Vanna White. That's plan D, helicoils.
Vanna White.
Yeah. You never watched Jeopardy? Or
yeah.
No, whatever the hell
what
that
does she have to do with Plan D?
She displays stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she displays letters. It's Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Not the.
Well, she doesn't.
But anyway, here's the current plan. We got some cobalt drills. These will cut through hardened material pretty well. They're a little brittle, so you have to be careful. You have to use only the highest quality hand drills to do it, and you go for it. So you start with making a little center punch mark. I measured with some calipers the diameter of the hole, divided that in half, and you can make a couple like little score marks going from one side and the other and a side there, and you kind of figure out where the center is. Use a nice freshly sharpened center punch, and you get a hole on center, or a punch mark on center. And if you look at it afterwards and it's a little bit off, you can always put the punch in at an angle and work your center punch mark one way or the other and kind of massage it right where you want it. So this is about as good as it's going to get, and we're hoping we can just drill these out. These drills are it's a tap drill size for these 3/8 holes. So that's the first plan. You can also use, see, I know these are stuck and they're not going to come out easy. If these just happen to break but the stud was not stuck, you could drill an undersized hole and then use a left-hand drill bit to go in and drill. And the left-hand drill bit kind of works like an easy out. It'll catch and spin it out. I don't like to use easy outs because I think, especially on small stuff, they expand too much and just jam the bolt shard into the hole. So I haven't had very good luck with them unless it was a really big bolt. So left-hand drill bit could work. I don't think it's going to work here. I don't have a left-hand drill bit for this size. I'm not even going to bother trying it. So we're just going to drill these out, and hopefully once we get it to a larger size we can just break the chips in. So I got the center punch mark, got a couple different size drills. I have a smaller one here. I'm going to use this as a center drill to get a good center going, and then I got some larger drills here. We'll work our way up. So let's get going.
Now the Ford, you got to tell them it's going to have a full brand new exhaust system from the manifolds back.
Brand new exhaust system.
Yep.
It'll be whisper quiet.
It better be.
And
all I want to hear is the valves ticking.
Yeah, and well, we know that there's enough goddamn work we're putting into this to get rid of a leaky exhaust gasket.
You know, for the price that I spent on the radiator support and the exhaust materials and all the clips, I found on Facebook Marketplace the identical twin sister to my truck for a little bit less than all that stuff cost me. So.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
That's not going to work. It keeps walking off the ridge there.
Oh. Frank has opted to try this himself. There you go, you gotta kind of baby it in.
Am I straight?
You're just making a center mark. Alright, stop and take a gander at it.
It's off to one side.
Alright, well, you can, yep, just go at an angle, carefully. And work it up, work it straight again.
How much pressure should we be putting down, Norm? Not that I don't know, but I'm at, so you could let the people.
You look at the chip, you're making a decent chip. So you're putting enough pressure on it. Alright, we graduated to the next size drill now. Low and slow, see it's making a pretty nice chip. Try to keep it as square as you can to everything. We got it drilled out to the tap drill size. We're going to try seeing if we can chip off the remaining piece of stud that's in there.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like potential success.
Well, there's something, this broken chisel you have worked.
He's using a broken punch, so it's round, but there's like a chisel edge on it.
Yeah. Well, it peeled away one piece, and that was it, so maybe not successful.
Might just end up sending a tap through this. That might be the best way to go.
Yeah. Well, something is happening.
Frank tapping hole. This is the most amount of action he's gotten all week.
Yeah. Well.
So we're starting out, yeah, hold it nice and square, put a decent amount of down pressure on it to get it going. Make sure you don't you're walking around. Hold it nice and square.
That's because part of it's,
yeah, it's the entrance to the hole is a little bit fucked up. It's not even. But, you gotta piss with the cock you got. So we had two taps. We got a starter tap and I got a plug tap down there so we can finish the bottom of the hole off. So once you get that tap started, a good couple, 2-3 turns, you're way cockeyed, instant comes towards the vise. Once you get it going a couple turns, then you can start doing the half a turn forward, quarter turn back technique. And we're just using some thin oil, thin penetrating oil for lubrication. Maybe some proper tapping oil would be better, but...
What did you just say? You're pissed with the cock you got?
Yep.
I say no to exhaust leaks.
Yeah, I can see that.
I hate that. When someone's got a vehicle and the exhaust is leaking, you know, it just shows you don't care. You know, you gotta have a little pride in what you have.
I would be proud to show I don't care.
That truck did not come from the factory leaking exhaust. At least I don't think it did. You never know.
Well, it wasn't an awful failure or a terribly great success either on the first hole. Part of the problem is that the drill bit wasn't going straight down the center line of the stud, so we got a little bit fucked up there. Went up to the tap drill size of 3/8 bolt, or 3/8 stud, and it left like a little sliver moon of stud on one side, then cast iron on the other side. So we decided to thread it, and it came out okay considering. There's, see if we can get a shot in there. There are threads. There's a couple shitty spots. You can see this is a good view. On the right side there's a piece of original stud.
You see this?
And on the left side is just the cast iron. But it is all threaded, and the bolt does thread in pretty well.
Yeah, there's not a lot of wobble. I'll demonstrate, see? They're really not too much. I mean, if you go to a stock hole, it probably wiggles just about the same amount.
Yeah. And the only thing is that the bolt is going to be a little bit cockeyed from normal.
See, that's a
Yeah,
stock.
it's got about the same amount of wibble wobble.
I'm saying we should leave it.
Yeah, I think that one's good. We did have a little casualty. I'm surprised we got off as easily as we did. I was going a little bit deeper.
Not me.
And hit a hard spot. So I said, okay, I'm either bottomed out or a little chunk of the original stud broke off, and I'm bound up between one of the teeth. So let me back out, and I tried to back out, and it wouldn't back out. So I worked back and forth. Eventually took it out, and there you go. There's half the tap is in there, half the tap is out. But actually, just compressed air blew it right out. So I can grind this down into a short tap and save it. Not that, you know, I only paid $1 for that at a tag sale, but at any rate, we don't have a tap stuck in there. So I just did the second hole, not, you know, tooting my own horn and pump my own tire or anything, but tried it out, got it centered, did the same deal, stepping up the drill size, and I decided to take a look at my left-hand drill bit collection, of which I have 3, and I did have a 5/16 left-hand drill, which is the tap drill size for these 3/8 holes. Drilled it out, and
one thread at a time.
if it'll focus, there we go. This is the very bottom of the stud.
And as you can see, this goes in
And it
all the way
came
stock
out.
threads.
So we got that balls fucking centered. Not only centered, but the drill was held axially in line, concentric with the stud you're drilling.
Yeah,
so this is the very last 2 threads that came out. Gets stuck on the drill bit and threads itself out.
Yeah, and as you can see, we had a nice full depth hole. Threads in there nice, all stock threads, no tap. I just ran the tap through to clean it up.
Yep.
And that's
voila,
it.
one more to go. So we got the 3rd stud drilled out. This was kind of middle of the road of success between the first one and the second one. It was nice and on center and everything. It drilled all the way through, but even with the left-hand drill bit, it didn't pop out the nice little threaded shards like I showed you before. So we just tapped it with a 3/8 tap. But the problem is there's still little pieces of original stud in the hole, and you're trying to cut through partly cast iron and partly hardened stud. And of course I just have you know, regular high-speed steel taps, maybe a little bit dull from rattling around in a drawer with other taps. So it's a little hairy. Luckily we didn't break another tap, but we do have a fair amount of threads in there. We used some Molly D cutting fluid. I don't know if that helped at all. But what do you say, D. Frank? Enough threads in that hole?
I don't know. I think we might be, because the threads really don't go in very far. We don't have a bottoming tap to finish it off. I still think the tap is bottomed out.
It's possible. It's getting close to it anyway.
And, because it's not going to hit the very bottom.
Right. I mean, we can always grind a little bit off that stud, too.
Yeah.
That's going in that hole.
This is going down pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, it keeps going though. Like, it gets tight, but then if you work it back and forth,
you're hitting the partial threads. See how the tap has these the partial threads there, so you're jamming the bolt into those partial threads and kind of like smushing everything together, which is probably why it's coming out hard now, because the first thread or two is fucked on that bolt.
Yeah, which is exactly what we wanted.
Yes.
But I don't know. We might be okay.
Well, if you take a look at the oily mark on that bolt, you see how much thread engagement there is. There's a ½ inch or so, something like that. I don't know.
No, I want to get a
stud
fresh
here.
bolt and just make sure I didn't screw up the threads.
So here's a stud. You can see on the discoloration there how much was in. I think it looks like this bolt went in a little farther than the original stud. You can see that the cleaner rusty mark there is where it was threaded into the head.
I want to still run a bottoming tap through here and see if we get the rest of the way.
Well, you better buy yourself a tap.
From today. No, if you cut that one, that won't make a.
Yeah, well, it'll work, but it's too short. I can grind it short, or grind it into a usable tap. It's only good for short holes. So that's about it. That's the ins and outs and lefts and rights.
That's about as far as you can go before it starts to get tight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
But I mean,
the threads aren't perfect. What can you ask for? Unless you want to drill it out larger and helicoil it. So that's it, everybody. Another Shop Talk Friday with Connor and D. Frank.
Hopefully we can keep them coming.
Yeah. We'll keep it coming as we are able to. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe even learn something too if you're working on your own F2 shitty with the Tree 51 Windsor. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button and all that. Thanks for watching.